It's Josh Jemmy here for Patriot Media. Let's give it a couple minutes for people to kind of jump in for this to populate. If you're watching this on replay, you can go ahead and skip forward a couple minutes. Let's see what's going on. So we got a couple people jumping in here. All right. So guys, you know the routine. Go ahead and share. Hit that share button. If you guys can hear us here on Facebook, go ahead and throw up some thumbs up and some hearts so you guys know that you can hear us good. Let me just adjust this one here a little bit. There we go. And then everyone over here on YouTube and Periscope, how's everybody doing over there? If you guys are on Periscope, go ahead and tap the screen over there, put some hearts up. Can't hear you. Can you guys hear us? If you can hear us, hit the thumbs up and hearts and say that you can hear us. We're using an external microphone here. Can't hear. Well, okay. Let's try this. Can't hear well. How about this? How's that? Is that better? Does it sound better now, guys? If it's better, let me know. I know. I can't hear. I know, guys. See it. Let's see. Can you hear us now? Is that better? Hog John, what's up?
Hog John, what's up, my buddy?
Sound up. Can you hear it? What's going on? Not very easy to hear.
Hog John.
Clear. Okay, good. Clear. So maybe those are old comments. I can hear you. Okay, good. Okay, good, guys. Okay, so now that we got the sound thing figured out, so I'm here with Bruce Nathan, who's running for governor of Florida, and I met him. First time I met him in person was actually at the thing in Boca, right? Yeah, Boca. It was a Trump party.
Trump birthday.
The Trump birthday party in Boca, Florida, and he came out, and it was unusual to see someone actually out campaigning with people on the ground, the actual constituents. So that was pretty cool, and he's also you're pretty friendly with a lot of the local like 3%ers and things like that around here.
Oh yeah. That's why I say Hog John.
So guys, I hope he is a Republican. Well, you want to tell him?
Oh yeah, no, I am a Republican, absolutely. Really more conservative. You know, if you ever listen to Sean Hannity, you ever ask him if he's Republican, he says no, he's not Republican. He says he's conservative. So these days, the way the Republicans are fighting our president, it's you wonder what's the best side to be on. So I am your conservative choice. Yes, I'm on the Republican ticket. I am in the Division of Elections for the state of Florida on the Republican side. You can look me up there. That's the place where you'll find me. So that's but I'm all over the place now. Now that you can you see me, I'm here with Josh and I do my Tuesday Night Live and Hog John helps me with that. Anybody who knows Denise Ledbetter, she's been helping me out with the campaign a lot. So she's acting campaign manager right now. So we've got a lot of things going on here where I am your most Trumpian conservative candidate for Florida for governor 2018. Nobody more than me. And I stand behind Donald Trump for everything he does. And the media, we know what they do.
Are you a true patriot? That was one of the questions.
I am a true patriot. In fact, I am the first one to be endorsed by the Constitutional Patriots. The Conpats have endorsed me. They haven't endorsed a candidate, I think he says, since 2012. And I'll tell you right now, he hasn't endorsed a governor candidate, I think, ever, he said. So I'm on a national platform right now. The Constitutional Patriots reaches all 50 states. So the idea is I have to be, because I'm a non-establishment candidate, the Republicans, the establishment, they don't like me.
You're freaking out.
Yeah.
It's like Trump, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm going to get into Florida and I'm going to shake it all up. If you're corrupt, you're out. I mean, all the stuff that we see going on, all the corruption we see, that's going to be gone under me.
So hold on, guys. I see you guys got a lot of questions, and they're coming in. They're flying up on the screen. We will get to some questions, but first I need all you guys to hit the share button and share it in all your groups. Share it in we got to let people know that there's candidates out here. Of course, somebody wants to call me while I'm live. Go figure that one out, right? Okay, so it always happens. Every time I go live, I get phone calls, every single time. So hit the share button, guys. We got to get this out there before we get into this. We're going to hit on some topics. I have some questions for him as far as your platform that you're standing on and that you're getting out there.
Right.
So before we do that, what did you think of Charlottesville?
Well, Charlottesville, it was let's just call it insanity plus, because we have, obviously, it's Virginia. It's a cast of liberal, weird human beings up there. Is the mayor or is the governor going to come down and stop things, to have the state police come in and do things like that? That is just insanity. Okay, so the bottom line is I saw some questions about what would I do as governor for Florida to make sure that we would have no Antifa, have no KKK, have no Black Lives Matter. Those guys will not, I want to be very clear, exist in the state of Florida. I can say this later, but I'll tell you right now, I am going to be closing sanctuary cities. So you have to understand, I'm going to bring Florida back to the Americans. I'm going to bring America back to the Americans. That's what we need to do. That's what has to happen. You know, I'm very big in ground and pound. Past history, I've done some MMA, I've done Krav Maga. I'm a boots on the ground guy. And I'm not going to send people out and sit up in the mansion over there and watch it happen. I'm watching anything that happens live, in person, right there with the troops. Just like General George Washington. I will be in the front lines. I will make sure that things happen for the Constitution and for Florida, which obviously before America. Remember, we have 20 million people here in Florida. Remember, we need Florida for 2020 for Donald Trump. That will happen because I will make sure that people know that I am here when I become governor. I am here because Donald Trump is there. I can be here. That's what has to happen. So, yes, I am calling this all out. And on top of that, this George Soros dude, that's it. We've just had it with him. Another person, you know, he's got a lot of pull because of his money.
When is the election, someone asked?
The elections, I've got a year. So I've got till the end of August of 2018. That's the primary. So I have to make it through the primary. So what people are going to have to do is, if you're a no-party affiliate, okay, which I was for some time, I'll give you a little more history. After 9/11, I went into the Army, United States Army, because I felt it was a need. I'm a physical therapist. They needed a medic in there.
So you're a veteran.
So I'm a veteran.
Well, thanks for your service. Appreciate that. I'm sure everyone out here thanks for your service.
So, well, listen, that's what it's all about for me. And I'll talk about the veterans in a little bit and how I will make sure the veterans in Florida get covered. But the idea for me back in 9/11 was to help the country any way I could. And I decided I was going to join the Army. I had 3 children at that time. Didn't matter because it's all about America for me. And I need to help America, and that helps the children in the big picture. So I joined after 9/11, became a captain. And what happened was I was there for 9 years. So I did my time as a veteran because that's what we have to do. And you have to understand, when you do that, you have a love in your heart for the country. You swore an oath. I swore an oath to this country when I joined, and that will never die. So that's for all of our veterans. And I, as a physical therapist who goes into homes every day, I had a story I told the other day that I saw a 96-year-old veteran that wasn't being treated the way he needed to be treated. Absolutely awful. And I can't believe it. And under the VA system, federally, terrible. So the state way that I have will be beyond belief, much better. So yes, I will make sure that things get taken care of. I don't know what the original question was. But the idea is that I will be here not only for the veterans, but for all the people in Florida. And we will make sure that we're not going to have that kind of stuff that we saw up in Virginia.
Guys, you know, people that are watching on Periscope and YouTube over here, and we got Facebook going on over here, do us a favor, guys. Retweet this on Twitter. Share it to your favorite social media. And everyone here on Facebook, go ahead and share it again. Keep sharing it, because people have to see that there's candidates out here that we're trying to drain the swamp. You know, just like Patriot Media, we're trying to do something different with the media, because the mainstream media is garbage, which I'm sure you would agree. You know, I've spoken to Bruce a little bit. We haven't been super, you know, we're just busy. We got a lot of stuff going on. But when I spoke to him at the Trump party, he made it very clear to me that he is basically running on a Trump agenda, pretty much. That everything that Donald Trump stands for is what he stands for. So we have to get this out there because hopefully it will inspire more people to want to step up and do the same thing, because we really have to get these type of candidates, in my opinion, to the forefront and get noticed, and then let the voters do what they do. You know, and that's what happened with Donald Trump, right? He came up to the front, he said what he wanted to say, and the platform he stood on, and didn't back down from it, and he ended up getting elected. So I think the more candidates that actually come out, that support that type of mentality and ideology, because that's basically what everyone here at Patriot Media, that's what I mean, except unless it's a troll. But,
yeah.
But you know, there are always trolls.
There's always trolls. And remember, I've got, for me, right now, one of the people that works with me, she's the Director of Outreach Services for Donald Trump, directly for Donald Trump. So I'm working directly under her and with her campaign and on my campaign. There's also the Great American Rallies and Great American Candidates. I'm one of the Great American Candidates. I'm the only one here in Florida. It was called America First Candidates. There's been some legal things going on with that. But in either case, the idea is the people that are with that's a non-establishment candidate that wants to become a governor or a congressman or a senator, to make sure that we're going to be able to do the right things and not be part of that swamp monsters. So we want to make sure that we are here for the people, 100% for the people. You know, as I told you, and you've probably heard this, if you've heard any of my videos, I've got 6 children, okay? And now you just heard a cat. So I got 6 children, I got 5 cats, 3 dogs. So a lot of rescues. So even the children. So the thing is, that I want to make sure, just like Donald Trump, that we have a legacy for our children in this country. The way it's going now, it's going down so fast that we have to try and catch it before it goes. And all of my policies many things are happening in 60 days. I'll go to sanctuary cities right now real quick. Sanctuary cities within 60 days in the state of Florida are closed down. I'm not going to take any federal bull to say that they want to stay open, or counties. This is the governor that's going to go in with what's going to be a newly formed militia, because this state right now, the militia has unfortunately decayed under the present rule. Even though it is Rick Scott, nothing to say about him, but he just hasn't pushed it enough. We are actually going to have a different thing, because under our state constitution for Florida, the militia is, even though under the governor, but it's not state sanctioned. We are going to have a state sanctioned militia force that's going to be 3 times what it looks like now, so that if we in an event we have a problem like a Charlottesville, we have quick action. We're going to get there before it starts and make sure it's turned off, and that's it. And then people get arrested. The thing that happened in North Carolina with that woman climbing up the ladder and pulling down generally, that would never happen here. I gotta tell you, she wouldn't even get the ladder over there. She wouldn't even be the 3rd step she was taking 100 feet away. She stopped. I can't even believe that was even allowed to happen. Just incredible to me. So you got to prevent the problem before it becomes the problem. So you have to have the solution.
Real quick, I just want to let everybody know who just jumped in what is going on here. Okay, so you know, obviously you know me, Josh from Patriot Media. This is Bruce Nathan. He's running for governor of the state of Florida. So if there's anyone in here watching that has friends on their Facebook or on their Twitter or, you know, whatever social media you guys use, make sure that you share this to them, okay? Because I didn't even know about him until I met him. I had no idea who he was, right? And this is part of the problem, is that unless you have the backing of the establishment, you're very hard to find. And it's something that you said that I want to touch on, which was, if anybody knows, like if you look at American history, the way it was designed to have representatives, it was never designed to have career politicians. That was never supposed to happen. Okay, it was supposed to be, like if you look at the first Congress, the first Continental Congress, all that, they were just like everyday people that came to represent their area, and then they left. They didn't stay in office their entire life, or as long as possible, in all these different positions. That's a modern thing. That's been something going on for maybe the past, I don't know, 70, maybe 100 years, maybe. I don't really know. But the point is that is not how this country was intended. Now, a lot of people, almost everybody, I would say, who watches Patriot Media is a constitutionalist. I'm sure you're a constitutionalist, that we believe in the United States Constitution. So a lot of this stuff, okay, a lot of these things is really just going back to what the country was originally founded on. It's been tarnished and tainted by all of these people who have come in and screwed it up. And so, I mean, you want to maybe touch a little bit on your thoughts of that?
Well, yeah. Let's go all the way back. Okay, let's go back to 1776. Let's go back to the reason why we got rid of the British in the first place was the taxation. One of the things was taxation, and that's one of my biggest pillars all by itself. The day that my hand goes on the Bible and I swear to the Florida Constitution, the United States Constitution, that I am governor of this state, I have a proclamation. Governors can do this by proclamation. We will end federal taxation in the state of Florida on that very day. I'm even going to say to people, when my poll ratings are high, I'm going to tell you don't pay taxes to feds in 2018 because I'm going to protect you. I'm going to make sure that the IRS cannot come after you, and we are going to file a class action lawsuit against the IRS. I have been told it can be done by many legal people and accountants. So we will take down the IRS. It will be the beginning of the end of the 100-year, because it's been over 100 years, tyranny of the IRS. Everything they've done, every way they've gone, it's illegal. They've done everything illegal. And I've got people all the way over in Oregon that have told me that that's absolutely true, the things that the IRS are doing illegal. But the problem is, each of us individually can't take down the IRS. The state of Florida will take down the IRS, and it'll be the beginning. The rest of the states will follow suit, and that will be the end of the IRS. I got more, if you go to my website, brucenathan2018.com, gives a little more explanation. But if you look up the laws and rules and regulations of how the IRS was formed, how the 16th Amendment was formed, you'll see I can do it. So that's that's going back to real Constitution. The other part is well, for me, healthcare. Who out there loves their healthcare? I don't think anybody out there is loving their healthcare. I'm a physical therapist. I go to people's homes every day. See 5 to 7 patients in their homes every single day. Not one person is loving their health care. It's restrictive. It's you have an insurance company and an agency between your insurance, between who you have, between what kind of insurance you're getting. If it's Medicare, usually I see people are on Medicare. But even children, I've been seeing pediatrics for all my life until about a year ago when I switched over. My wife still sees peds, and she's got 20 kids on her waiting list. What are you going to do with 20 kids on their waiting list? You can't get to them in time. They're little, but they need help now. She can only see so many at a time.
I said don't even have health care. There's a lot of people that don't have health care. You can't afford it.
I've got our family here. We couldn't even get the Obamacare. I got off of our health care because I lost that one job and went private and worked for myself. And because I did that, I couldn't even get Obamacare. So I had to do this health share program. It's got a huge deductible. And we're dying. I mean, you can't afford to pay it. So my health plan, it's called Florida Health System, okay? It's a health system that's going to make sure that each person is covered, and it's a capitalistic type system where the system actually makes money. It's a system, and nobody's going to see how this works, but I can tell you right now, agencies are gone, insurance companies gone. You have direct access that goes consumer, which is patient, directly to your therapist, doctor, or nurse. Nothing in the middle, or hospital. Your money that's being spent in all this middle area, that's gone. We take that and shove that away because you're going to have direct access, and the person will be able to see that you do have coverage through the Florida health system that will be created. There'll be no more Medicare, no more Medicaid, and people have gotten scared and said, "Oh, well, I'm going to lose my Medicare." You'll have better than what you have now because Medicare, it's still an 80-20 split. The people who are paying that 20%, you are paying $243, sometimes $300, sometimes $400 a month. You're not going to pay more than $100, and you're going to get what you need.
So what? I'm a big proponent, and I put a post on the page the other day about people if they support the idea of constitutional carry, which is essentially open carry with no permits.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, so that's something that you also
open carry. Oh, I was just talking to my wife today about open carry. The way I'm going to set up open carry. Now, open carry, of course, means you have, just like Texas, you have a sidearm, you're allowed to carry it right on your side. Absolutely, positively, it will detour any person who's going to be bad, that's going to think they're going to pull out a weapon, because the other person, the good guy, is going to pull out a weapon and stop them. So that's what has to happen. But let me tell you, my open carry, I want to make sure that the police are protected as well. Because obviously there can be a little mix-up if a police officer sees an open carry. With the open carry in the state of Florida, the way I will set it up, and nobody else has talked about this that much yet, but the way I will set it up is that how we wear badges at work, or have to wear like a little badge on the side, just like how we have our concealed carry permit, we will have that. If we're carrying a weapon on the side, we are going to have to carry this permit either on our belt or as a lanyard right here, and just so the police can check to make sure that you have a legal open carry, which I don't think anybody would mind, because we're protecting the police that way. We're making sure their jobs are easier. Give me a lot of thumbs up if you want to protect the police.
Who is this guy? All right, so real quick, let me just tell him again, because there's a lot of people coming in and out. That's the nature of live streaming. This is Bruce Nathan. He is running for governor in the state of Florida. So to answer you guys' questions, I've seen that pop up a couple times, so I just thought I'd sort of let you guys know what's going on here. He has a website, Bruce Nathan 2018, right? So BruceNathan2018.com. I'm sure he has all of his things that he stands on that website, so you can go and check him out a little more.
I call it my top 10. My top 10 of things that are important to me that have to get done. Open carry actually isn't on there, but don't worry, that's one of the top 10. That's part of, there's the Second Amendment rights that's in there, but that's part of your Second Amendment rights, obviously. So is having open carry. So there's no reason why we shouldn't have open carry and have that happen.
Well, Cassandra, I'm just see that pop by that. So I don't concealed carry is not going to go anywhere, but there's certain people who are more for who like the idea of concealed carry, and some like open carry. And I personally, the way I feel about it, and like what you're saying, I think is a good way to identify that you have that. But I actually like states that have a constitutional carry. We don't have to have any permit or anything. You can literally just carry, like Arizona. There's a couple places like that, a few states. I mean, they can be problematic. I could see how that can be problematic, right. But I'm a big proponent of the Second Amendment personally, and right. I just sort of feel like, look, that's just my opinion. Everyone's got their own opinion. Some people don't even like the idea of open carry.
Right.
But I think if we can move in that direction as a state to be able to at least allow it with the same type of permit that you have for concealed carry, which is basically like what Texas does.
Exactly.
I think that would be a step in the right direction. I think that's a lot easier to get through than just a constitutional carry bill right off the bat.
Right. Right. I think that's a good compromise, to have it so you have open carry with a permit like that. I think that's good. Again, I think we're helping to protect the police.
Do you like Common Core? I can answer that for him. No.
So we can go. we could jump into education. That's my third pillar. So my federal taxation gone. Okay, health system brand new just for Florida, obviously, and then once it's a system, just so you know, once I patent and have it here, we get to sell it to other states from this area. So that's where we're making money too. I'm telling you, it's going to be capitalistic. You're not going to believe it. Oh, okay, education. Having 6 children, obviously I want a good education for my children. Let me no more Common Core to tell you that. But let's go right here. Now I've got my boy Brock. I've got 5 girls, 1 boy. Brock is going to University of Florida. Anybody who likes the University of Florida Gators? Gotta love my boy going to Gatorville. My oldest daughter, now a doctor, she went to FSU, so with the Seminoles. So we've got all sides, but now we're all Gatorland. So that's okay, we're good. But it's a liberal college, but he's going under an ROTC scholarship. So he's going in through the military. When he comes out after his 4 or 5 years there, because he might be doing industrial systems engineering, which means it might be a 5-year program, he comes out and does 5 years in the military. But he'll stay in the military. He likes the military. My son Brock, he was Corps Commander in the United States, in the high school from 9th to 12th grade. So when 11th and 12th grade, he was Corps Commander. He rose in the ranks really quick. His chief and lieutenant colonel loved him, thought he was great, and he's a fantastic kid. But let me tell you something. So I've got one of the children. So I've got 2 children right now. One's just going into 6th grade. She's taking a history class. My son, Brock, he's going into freshman of college. He's taking a history class. Now, he was going to take an introduction to Islam. What? I said, what? You're doing what? I couldn't believe I even heard that in my ears. He said, well, why not? We should learn about what that's all about. I said, not a chance. What do we care? I said, this is America. I said, do you think Ken is going to 6th grade learning about the introduction to Islam or Sharia law? No, that's not what we want to learn here. So now he changed it over. So he's learning the period of history, U.S. history, 1770 to 1805. Much better, much happier, because that's our true history. So I can't tell you how happy my heart is that he's learning that he decided to change it over and go into that direction. But with Common Core, no more, bringing it back to the state, back to the counties, back to the teachers, back to exactly where it needs to be. The school boards are a little off right now. They're going to have trouble readjusting. I will make sure they get readjusted. With this system that I'm going to create, the new educational system in Florida, my wife is she's an occupational therapist, so she's an educator. And we will take on a few other people, specialized people, to bring it back, bring books back that are real history. We will study to make sure each book does not have Sharia law. No Sharia law, no Sharia law is in my state. Okay, we're not studying that here. We are studying only things that have to do with our Judeo-Christian values. So as you know, Josh here is Jewish. I'm Jewish as well. I'll be the first Jewish governor that Florida has ever had. I mean, it's fantastic. My wife is Baptist. Her parents are Pentecostal. We have a mix. Our family is totally mixed up in that way, but we love every second of it because it's all about learning about the Judeo-Christian values that our Bible came from, Constitution came from. It's great. I'm telling you, you're going to love me as your governor. So that's the educational part.
So maybe we've kind of covered some of the bases. You want to maybe for like maybe 10 minutes or something, maybe answer a few questions or something.
I'll answer any questions. You guys come up.
Did you have something you wanted to touch on before? Or?
Well, okay, so let's go. Human trafficking has become a big problem.
Oh, what BLM and Antifa? How would you handle that if they, show? Luckily, we don't have a whole lot of Antifa in Florida yet. But
no, they're being escorted out. Okay, there's no. They come here with their signs. They're specially printed George Soros BLM signs. No, they're going. They're leaving. Okay, that's why I said we will prevent the problem before it starts. They have no rights here. Hate groups have no rights in the state of Florida at any time. And I'm telling you, I will have people throughout the state that will have boots on the ground to make sure that none of these things will ever happen. We're wondering. A lot of people have asked about the monuments in the past. Now, I've already said on my show many times, the monuments that are getting taken down, or if the people think they can take down, not getting taken down. And if they've been taken down, the county that decided that they could be taken down, that county is going to pay for them to get put back up. They're going to get put back up 5 feet higher, and they're going to be lights on them at night. So and that's going to be mandatory, and I'm going to make it so that each state, and I'll go and check. I'm telling you, I'm not the kind of, you see, so many governors just sit in their mansion or they sit back and they're, oh, I'm a governor, great. I can't do that. That's not the way I am. I like getting out in front of the people, number one. That's what I do. It's one thing that I have a passion to see people and go talk to them. I'm not going to just stay up in Tallahassee in that mansion. Not going to happen with me. I actually live in Palm City right now. I'll have a Southern Command. It'll be right around this area. This is where the Southern Command will be, but I will have 2 or 3 other satellite offices so that you can have an ability to come and see me. And we make a direct appointment. I will be one place in a week, one place for another week.
Arkansas says, please be the governor of Arkansas.
Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, well, we'll work on that.
Florida first. And then, let's work on Florida first.
Florida first. But you have to make the example for other governors and what a great governor can do. That's the whole idea. For my kids, I want to be the superhero of governors, okay? Let me be the Iron Man or the Thor of governors to make it so that these things are going to happen the way they're supposed to happen for us Americans under the Constitution, under our state Constitution. Did you know, I'm going to tell you all a little secret. Did you know our state Constitution in Florida, that marriage is between a man and a woman? Did you know that? Wow. Well, that's a little hint for you, just so you know.
So let's see. It says, was he elected this past November? So no, Patricia, he's running for governor this next coming year. It said it's a year away, about
2018.
2018, right?
So I'm going to need people to, if I have a feeling everybody who's here, they're either NPAs or Republicans, but you're going to have to change to a Republican Party if you're not there now. Not till July of next year. You can wait until then if you want to. June, July, whatever. And just make sure you're a Republican, because you cannot vote for me in Florida unless you are a Republican. There are closed primaries here. So you have to make sure, please change over to a Republican, become a Republican. If you don't want to be a Republican, just do it for the short time to vote for me, and then when the general comes around, before the general, you can switch to whatever you want.
You know what else? I think you say you're looking. You need people to help with campaigning for you, or do you have that set up?
Oh yeah, no. Well, we've got some volunteers that are around. We're looking for more county chairs. There's 67 counties in the state of Florida, so we've got about 12 counties that are covered. But you can easily get a hold of me or Denise Ledbetter, and we will give you places to help us out, because we're looking to. I want to come out and do more events. I'm leaving tomorrow. Obviously, my son's going to Gainesville. So I'm bringing him up to college tomorrow. I'll be there, and then I'm in Flagler County on Saturday, and then Sunday I'm hopefully going to go back to Ocala, and then I'm over Monday. There's a Republican Executive Committee meeting over in Okaloosa, so all the way over to the west side of the state. So I'm going to go over there. I'm trying to meet as many people as I can, but I still work. I'm a regular guy who has a job, and I'm not living off the people. I will never live off the people. If you give me a salary, if you hire me and you give me a salary, it's because I'm working for you, and I'm not going to work for any more money than what you're paying me. So it's that, and that's it. Because these people who are running for the office, aside from me, they're spending 20 or 30 or 40 million dollars to get a seat that pays $130,000 a year. Where's the sanity there? Because they're controlling a budget that's approximately $80 billion.
Oh, sorry, I just saw something about the Lenin Monument in Seattle, that there's a protest going on. So good. I've wanted that for a while. But anyway, that's a side note. So let's maybe we'll see if there's some questions that come up here, and we'll pick some out and have you answer them. So this is the time, guys, to go ahead and hit that share button if you haven't. We're gonna pick some questions out of here. I know there's gonna be a lot that are flooding in here. We got like over 100-something people. So we will try to answer as many questions as we possibly can. Don't be offended if we don't get to your question. I've tried to pull out some ones as we're going right now, as we've been doing the live. So if you guys got a question that you want to ask, go ahead and throw it up there, and we will try to answer it now. And while we're waiting for the questions to come in, so when I told you about what we're doing at Patriot Media, how did you feel about that? How did you feel about what we're doing as far as Patriot Media?
Well, everything that's going on in Patriot Media is fantastic. It's, the whole idea of bringing us back to the world of patriots, the world of constitutionalists, is really where we need to go. If we don't see this as a major revolution at this time in our lives, then you're missing the boat. Because that's the only reason I'm here, is because I want to get in there to make sure that things are going to happen the right way for not only the 8.2 million children here in Florida, but more. So
we got a question here. Chrissy asked, is he fighting against the removal of our historic statues and monuments? So basically, are you fighting to protect, to keep the monuments and the history intact?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I see other governors and senators, I've seen on Facebook, they say that they're fighting to get rid of them. That's the ridiculous. No, I want to keep the history. Keep the history. We humans only learn if we see the history right in front of us and how it worked. We need to know that that's what happens. So the monuments stay. The monuments that have left come back under the Governor Bruce Nathan.
So Tracy, I see you're concerned because you're a registered independent. All you got to do is just go change it to be able to vote as in the primaries. Because first you got to get through the primaries, and then after you get through the primaries, then it's the general election between the candidates who got pushed through the primaries. So right. What you have to do, Tracy, is re-register as a Republican voter, so that you can go ahead and vote on the Republican primary. That's how that works.
Yes.
So it's not that you're left out. Unfortunately, that's just the way the system is. Sometimes you got to play it a little bit to get what you want. So if you like what you hear here and you're in Florida and you want to help him rise through to the primaries to the general election, that's what you'd have to do. There was a question about the human trafficking thing popped up. I saw that, so maybe you want to expound a little bit on human trafficking.
A few months ago, I met this woman named Rosa Castillo, who's on my team. She lives down in Palm Beach County. She was actually trafficked for 12 years from the late 90s to 2008 or 9. And this is a woman, and so this is recent. Back and forth from Mexico. She's a Hispanic woman that was trafficked. And the story that she put out and told me was just incredible. And then she had a baby actually under that because she was raped several times. And beyond belief. Awful, awful stuff happened to her. But this is happening today. We are losing people here in the state of Florida. They're being trafficked out. It's going through either the drug cartels, or several other ideas that are making it so that we are not seeing what's happening. So I am going to be, and because a lot of our ships that come in at the ports, we only check, I think, 10 or 15% of them. That has to stop. We need to get to 90, 95% checking point. Again, me, boots on the ground to see what's going on. Again, put Rosa Castillo up in my cabinet, up in Tallahassee, to make it so that she can run point on what's happening because she sees the tricks. She knows how these people work. So I'm going to make sure that the human trafficking stops. The number.
Here's one real quick. Sorry to interrupt you, but there's just so many things flowing up here. Eric asked, would you enact a state law, or I guess some kind of would you put some kind of legislation forward protecting the Confederate monuments?
Yes, Alabama did that. We will do the exact same thing. It does have to go through legislation. That's the best way to do it, to make it so it does stop. But the governors are so gutless. Most governors that are around the states, you got a decent governor in Texas, decent, in Alabama, obviously, because they got that enacted very quickly for the monuments there. But the idea is that you have to have a powerful governor that's going to just stand up for you and your rights and the rights of our history. So there's no doubt about it. Well, think about this. I have 2 children that are now taking history. So do you think I believe in history? My son almost majored in history. He loves history. So it's a very powerful thing for all of us. That's how we remember what happened. So that's that. So
no volume and feed is having frozen. No, Nancy, no one's having problems. Go out and come back in. You're having issues on your end. Okay, there was another question here. Where was it? Guys, so listen, hit the share button. We're going to do questions for about another 3 or 4 minutes, and then we're going to wrap it up. So this is the time to be able to ask one of the candidates running for governor in the state of Florida questions that you guys have. So we want to open it up to you guys. So go ahead and throw those questions up. I'm trying to read through them over here. There it is, right? There it is.
Love my hat.
No volume here. Are you the only one that you can't hear? Can you guys hear? If you guys can hear us, fine. Throw some thumbs up and hearts and stuff so we can see. Because I think a lot of you guys are okay, but just to be sure that nothing messed up.
Got some hearts.
Okay. Well,
I got this. Okay, just so you know.
Yeah, they can hear us.
Let me tell you who I'm endorsed by. Endorsed by Citizens for Trump. Endorsed by Red Hats for Trump. Endorsed by Northwest Bikers for Trump. Bernadette and Casper, they started me off on the 15th of April in Bay County. Wonderful people. If you love the Northwest Bikers for Trump, man, those guys are the jam. So we're going to be up there and seeing them next week. I'm going to see them over in Okaloosa next week. I can't wait to go see them. Constitutional Patriots, Conpats.com. Those guys are backing me. So I've got a lot of people that are standing behind me that are all Trump supporters. This is what has to happen. These are the people that are draining the swamp, and we are going to clean this out. That's how it has to happen. You're not going to have another gubernatorial candidate that's going to be as passionate as me. So, and just contact me. If you have any separate questions, I'm happy to answer questions. I answer questions all the time.
Someone asked, what's your thought on Black Lives Matter?
Black Lives Matter. You know, like ISIS. They're almost like ISIS. They were born under Obama. So these guys were born under a terrible time in our country. This was a real bad time in our country. So the idea is that we have to get rid of them. And the way to get rid of them is by making it so that they are not allowed to establish themselves anywhere. So that's like I said, they cannot even establish themselves in the state of Florida. Black Lives Matter, no. No KKK. Understand I'm Jewish. We're Jewish.
Yeah.
We go back to Nazi and KKK. No, not happening here at all. So Antifa, no. Terrorist organization, no. Not happening here. Look, the sanctuary cities that have opened up and their little zones that they have.
Somebody said something
Problem.
about Indian River Lagoon water. Are you familiar with that?
I do. I know about the Indian River Lagoon. So let's go to the environment for a second. That's another one of my key issues. The environment has gotten bit. The guys in legislature and all of your politicians have been paid off by sugar and by many other lobbyists, shall we say, without saying anything else, that have made it so that we cannot get anything done. We had the toxic green algae that was here just last year. It was better this year for certain reasons of weather and the way things have just shifted around a little bit. So that's the only reason it got better for this year. There is going to be an absolute solution under Bruce Nathan for governor, under Bruce Nathan as governor for the state of Florida, that will make sure that our Indian River Lagoon is going to be clean and pristine. Trust me, because the problem, it's not, a lot of people say it's in the septic tanks. Septic, wrong. It's not in the septic. It's in the way the water is coming down. It's in the way the fertilizers are happening. No more Monsanto. People who just ask that question, Monsanto is gone. If you know Monsanto, he's the one that makes the seeds and the GMO and all of these other problems that we have. He's the one that makes the fertilizers. He's the one that makes the Roundup. That is all bad for our environment. That's what's causing a lot of these problems. So you want to see what's going to go? Those things are going to go. Monsanto, not allowed to have seeds in the state of Florida. Now, understand, my in-laws are peanut and cotton farmers up in the Panhandle. So you're saying it's going to be very expensive, very hard for them to not have those seeds. And I've already had this conversation with them. We will have organic seeds, and the state will subsidize the extra cost that it will take to make it so that we have the proper seeds to make it so that we can farm here and they can grow organic in Florida. So by the time a couple of years it takes to get around, to roll around, a couple of years down the road, all of Florida will be organically grown, and then this way, a lot of the stuff that's flowing off into our rivers, that won't be there anymore. So it's a way to make things happen the right way. It's going to take, that one will take a little time. I can't say it's going to happen overnight. That one's going to take a little time, but we have to make sure things happen the right way. So if you don't know who Monsanto is, go look him up and you'll see who he is. Real bad guy.
So someone asked you, so we'll get another question in here. Somebody keeps, I think this question keeps popping up. They're concerned that, they said anyone can buy a gun online or auctions without a background check.
That's not true.
Yeah, it's not true.
Not true. You can't buy a gun in the state of Florida without having a background check. Just, I've got 4 weapons in my house. Each one that I've gotten, I've had to have a background check. Even I've got a military CAC badge. Okay, they still even background check me. So they are strict here. So I don't think they're doing that online.
Yeah, no, I mean, it says, I'm not sure, I don't know about that one. But anyway, there was another one. If it comes back and somebody details
it gets shipped to a store. They can buy it online. It gets shipped to a store. They have to
go there?
And they have to go to the store, and then you have to get clearance at that store. They will not sell it to you until that background check is done.
Right, somebody says they got to be sent to a FFA dealer.
Correct.
So, okay, we've already covered the monument questions, guys. So if you missed that, you'll have to just catch the replay. Somebody asked, what is your opinion of like 3%ers and 3%er groups?
I love my 3%ers. Hog John, he's one of my best buddies. He comes here and does my live all the time. The Florida Patriots, FPU, those guys are my buddies too. Sean Wisdom, Kelly Ranieri. I mean, these guys, I started with these guys some months ago. All 3%ers, anybody for the 10th Amendment. Understand, I am going to stand on the 10th Amendment every day to make sure that our country is brought back from the federal craziness to the states' rights. How about the fishing that the federal government has taken away from us? That's gone. Okay, states' rights. No, because somebody's getting paid off again. I don't know who, But the federal government comes in and says you can't fish for red snapper during certain times of the year, and then people who are their livelihood is to do this, they're losing their livelihood. That's not going to happen. So anybody who's into the fishing industry, you're going to want to love me, because I'm going to tell you again, states' rights all around our state. So it's not the federal waters that are there, it's the state's waters that the people are fishing in, and we're going to get that back.
All right, so what we're going to do, guys, we'll take one more question and then we'll wrap it up. So throw up a couple more questions, guys. Let's see here. We're just waiting for him to kind of scroll in. 3 up. There's Hug John.
Go Hug John. Let me talk to you about Florida law reform too. If you don't know, there's something called parental alienation, which happens throughout the state, throughout the United States. There is a huge problem that people don't want to get involved with. I am going to make sure we haven't had family law reform here in the state of Florida since about 1942. So they still think that women never work and their man is supposed to pay them. The judges do whatever they want. The amount of money and alimony and child support that's put out there, it's out of control. I'm skin in the game, okay? I got railed in the courts. So I'm going to make sure that we, and this is going to be through the first legislation. They're going to be busy when I get in there. Those guys are going to wish, they're going to earn their money, let's put it that way, the legislators. So it's going to be very important that we get a new family law reform bill out, and signed in the very first term of me being there. Absolutely, positively. And it's going to be something that where the judges can't make the decisions back and forth. It's going to be very strict to make sure that people are going to get what they need.
Paul, he already talked about sanctuary cities, and he's against them. He doesn't like them. He wants to abolish all of them. I mean, correct?
Sanctuary cities are gone.
Gone. Okay.
No worries, Paul. Gone. 60 days.
Let's try to get a new question. How about the death tax? That's pretty.
No death tax, because there's no going to be federal taxation. That death tax is the craziest thing I ever heard. So if there's no federal taxation, understand. Let's go back to the beginning a little bit. If you look at BruceNathan2018.com, go back there and look at that. And I'm telling you, I'm going to back us away from federal taxation. There's no federal taxation. Guess what? There's no federal gas tax. There's no death tax. You don't even have to have a 501c3 or 403b. You won't need it because you're not going to have that stupidity of taxation. Okay, the next question is going to be, how are we going to pay? How are things going to get paid for? So let me answer that question real quick so you can understand this. We will have something called a consumption tax at that point. A consumption tax in this state, the state this size, 10 cents on the dollar will handle everything. This way it's not a fair tax. A fair tax is about 21 to 23 cents on the dollar. Too much. Way too much. 10 cents on the dollar pays for everything we need to pay for. Then you're going to say, here's the other question I get. I'll answer your questions for you. How about the federal government? How are they going to get paid? 1 penny. Okay, so it'll end up being 11 cents on the dollar. 1 penny will end up, out of that dollar, will go back to the federal government. They'll get paid once a year, and that's how they will have to budget their money instead of just taking our money and doing whatever they want with it.
And sending it to terrorists around the world.
They send it to terrorists or wherever they want. They fund Iran and
or the Palestinians.
Or the Palestinians.
Yeah, that drives me nuts.
Oh.
That pisses me off more than anything. They take my money and then they spend it and give it to all these people that I can't stand, that are, terrorists, essentially. They're essentially, they're terrorists.
Oh, yeah.
It's ridiculous. And then, like, that whole thing with Planned Parenthood, giving all this money to Planned Parenthood out of our tax dollars. It's like we don't have any say in what they do with this money, and they just take so much.
Right.
And I don't know, I just find that ridiculous.
It is
personally.
ridiculous.
But anyway, so you got any last things you wanna say to everybody out there?
Well, like I said, we have to. There's always an animal somewhere around. So
we have a guest.
Yes, like I said, we got lots of animals here, including children. But the thing is, you have to look and see what's going to be important to you. Whatever is important to you is going to be important to me, because that's the way I live. Because I'm a healthcare professional, I'm a health medical practitioner, and you have to understand this is the way I live. I can't even say it. And people have started saying, oh, you're a politician. Not a politician. Will never be a politician. I'm politically active now, absolutely, because it's the need for our country. We need to stand up for Donald Trump. We need to support our president all the time. And if we don't keep supporting our president, it's going to fall into ruins. So, but each one of us, as I'm running for governor, we need to find more good candidates that are out there that want to run. And so, because people that can work under me, in our districts and in the state, that would be terrific. I'd love to see some more non-establishment people running for 2018. Let's get us all in so we can drain the swamp and make it all happen. It's only going to happen if you guys help out. But obviously, BruceNathan2018.com, $5, $10, $20, that would be great. Anything you can contribute, go on there, volunteer. You can, the site is full of stuff that you can go and do. So please, make that happen. I'm here for you. You need to be here for me. It's just like you were for Donald Trump when you voted for him and voted him in. It's the same idea.
It says you'll be at the Flagler County Barbecue in Palm Coast, Florida, August 19th. So if they want to come out and meet you,
right?
Yep. So if you're in Florida and you want to meet him, Mr. Bruce Nathan in person, he'll be at the Flagler County Barbecue in the Palm Coast on August 19th. So the website Bruce Nathan 2018. We have a Patreon page for Patriot Media. It's patreon.com/Patriot Media. So you can head on over there, head on over to both places. If you like what you heard here and you wanna help him out and get his name out there and get his platform out there, head on over to his website and give him a look. Check everything out. And if you want to volunteer, to help, door knock, whatever, I'm sure. I mean, because you really need that. I mean, you need like people on the ground doing stuff. So.
Oh yeah, we need boots on the ground. We're gonna need volunteers. It's called Get Out the Vote, GOTV. So we're gonna need a lot of people to help out. Because this is, like I said, it's a revolution. It's getting real people in to government to change it for you, to bring it back to what we originally signed up for. It's all up to you. So I encourage you to get involved. I've got a lot of access and a lot of resources for you to come to me. So please do come to me and we'll work together.
Cool. So, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in. Still, go ahead and share this out there. And let everybody come on in and skip through it, hear what, listen to it from the beginning to end, whatever they're going to do. I thought this was important to have a sit down with him. We've been in touch. And yes, thank you, Mark. We appreciate that, by the way. Thank you very much. So I wanted to bring this to you guys. I felt it was important. I spoke to him and it's just been crazy. And I thought, why not sit down and give him the opportunity on Patriot Media to talk to everybody who likes the page here about what he's about, what he's doing, and hopefully kind of help gain a little bit more traction than you already had.
Right.
And that's kind of the goal, to network together and stick together for people who are part of this Patriot movement. And when you have people like Hog John and all these people who are out there, part of these 3%er groups, and they're backing you and they're saying that, you're because here's the deal, is that most of the time, people are so programmed that when they hear, oh, this guy's running for this, or that person's running for this, they're very, very skeptical, because they're so used to being abused by politicians. And, but Donald Trump has kind of set this precedence of no, we can change this. And how do we change it? We have to find the people who are actually going to do the things that they say they're going to do. So I've met him, he's a good guy. Everyone else that I'm usually associated with here in Florida has met him. They think he's a good guy. So that's basically what you got to go off of. You guys should come out and meet him yourself and, shake his hand and see what you guys think and see if you get on board. Sounds good to me, right? I mean, everything he says sounds great to me. So now we just got to put him in a position, I guess, to be able to do it, right? So we can shut down this garbage that's been going on.
Yeah, I would never tell you anything that I can't do. Okay, if there's something that's more of a federal approach or federal way, I'm not going to tell you I can do it. I'm not going to make things up. Okay, I'm only telling you things that I know that I absolutely, definitely can do. There's certain things in our lives we can't do, but everything I've mentioned so far we can. So, and I'm open to other ideas and options from other people because that's what we're all about. Because we want to make sure that your thoughts are heard. We couldn't get a whole, look, I'm absolutely not a fan of Marco Rubio, just so you know. I think the guy's a jerk, to tell you the truth. Sorry if I offended anybody, but he's a rhino. He's just an establishment candidate, and it's unfortunate that we have him there. We had nothing else to vote for last time. Understand, look, I ran against Marco Rubio as an NPA last time because I needed to see what it would be like to run. I wouldn't just try and do this if I couldn't, do it, if I hadn't done it first. I covered the state. I got 52,000 votes during my last run in 2016. That was really basically telling Marco Rubio with my $17,000 when he spent $40 million, him and Murphy, they spent $40 million against my 17, and I got 52,000. Not bad. That's basically telling him, we don't want you, but we have no choice. Now you have a choice. Now, Rick Scott is termed out, okay? So a lot of people ask that. Term limits. It's 2 terms in the state of Florida, 2 4-year terms. So Rick Scott is termed out, so somebody else has to go in there now. So that's me.
Somebody's really against you, dude. Look at this. They know the exact percentage of exactly what it comes out to. So that's pretty funny.
What's that?
No, they're saying over here 0.6%. It's like, okay, you're obviously. Yeah, how were they? How do you know that unless you're like researching?
Oh, well, they probably did research me. That was it. I was 6%. That's it.
Yeah,
0.6. Yeah. But
It's
that's
just,
okay.
I find that funny. Yeah.
Well, listen, because I never ran for anything before. So you try it. You try it. And you try and get 52,000 votes on $52,000 while you have 6 kids and you're still doing your job.
No, it's tough.
That's not easy.
Tough.
Not easy.
No.
You think I'm doing this because I'm going to have fun? This is not, and I'm going to be attacked like beyond belief. I mean, it's going to be like daggers everywhere. I'm putting my family up at risk. Everybody's at risk. I'm doing this because we're on the front lines, pal. We are here to take this country back. And if you don't want to get on board, then get off. Leave. But we're here, Josh and I, and other patriots are here to take this country back. And Donald Trump made it so. So we are making it so. So you people who want to come on board, you feel the passion? That's it. Get on or get out. And Black Lives Matter out, KKK out, Antifa out, George Soros out, Mark Zuckerberg out, okay? All of the idiots, go. Because you know what? We are here because we are patriots. We want America as we formed, as the Constitution was made. So get on board. Give me some money. So $5, $10, stop, don't drink a cup of coffee for a day or two. Because this is a national campaign, and I'll be the first governor that ever gets on board that will do things like you've never seen before. The media, like they're on Donald Trump, they'll be on me every day. Where's Bruce Nathan today? I'm telling you, you'll never know where I'll be. I might be sitting all of a sudden at a school board meeting with some idiots over there thinking Common Core is going to continue. Wrong. I might be over there. You just never know where I'm going to be. I could be sitting in a courtroom where some guy is getting jacked by some judge. Wrong. I'll take that judge out. I'll say, you're done, pal. And the governor can do that. There's a guy right now that had his kids taken away. He's had them gone for 5 years. 5 years. And he keeps going back to court. And you know why they left? Because the guy was praying with them. He's a Christian. He was praying with them. The kids were taken. His wife has them. They're still in Florida. He can't see them. And he goes back to court. He's gotten robbed blind from the court system and the lawyers. So I go see that judge. I sit in that court. I watch what happens. He won't even know. I'll have my hat like this. I might not have a MAGA hat on there. But I'll have some kind of hat. And I'll say, hey, judge, you're out, man. Because a governor can remove a judge.
I'm moving to Florida just to vote for him.
So I'm going to tell you right now, if you think I'm full of it, then try me. Put me in there for 1 term. You're going to love me. You're going to love everything I do because it's going to be for you. And that's it.
Well, Bruce, thank you so much, man. Thanks for, for coming on here and answering some questions for everyone at Patriot Media. I thought it was important. Hey, why not? We like to have a bunch of lives and things that we do here on Patriot Media. We like to connect and show what's really going on out there, what's really going on the ground. We have all of our live contributors, Billy Sessions, James. We got a whole bunch actually. There's a bunch of sleeper ones on there that when they're somewhere and I need somebody to go live, they're there. So we try to bring you guys what's really going on. This is what's really going on. We got a grassroots candidate here, Bruce Nathan. Okay, so give him a hard look. Honestly, give him a hard look. Ask him the tough questions. Grill him. If every answer that he has, he's able. Every question that comes forward, he has an answer for it. I've personally seen this guy out at events that I've been to. And he's out there talking to everybody, campaigning, like doing what you should do, which is talk to the people. Talk to the people. And someone said that, without money, it's going to be hard. Yeah, you're right. But you know what? if we can all do our part, right? We can all do our part. And what I mean by that is we have our little circle. Every person has their circle of influence, and they also can get out there and try to grow that circle of influence. So if you're on board, do what you can. You know, we don't want to have what's been going on around this country right now. Baltimore and all, like, they just took down those two statues. And they're all over the place. They're trying to attack this statue, attack that statue. The history is going away. They're trying to eliminate everything. And he just sat here and said that that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen in Florida. We had a problem in Orlando. I was there at the city council meeting. I spoke there. It was that city councilman, he already had his mind made up before the hearing was even done. He's corrupted. We've got to get all these corrupt people out, okay? We got to get all these corrupt people out, and we have to replace them with new blood. So you know what? What's the worst that happens if somebody gets in and they don't do what they said? Out, next one. You know what I mean? But we got to get these people who have been in office for so long out. Out.
I can't be compromised. You cannot compromise me, ever. Money plays no role on me. So people who think that I don't have money in the campaign, well, if you donate, I'll have more. And that's how it works. Because I'm telling you, I am here for the people. I don't care about the money. I care about the people. That's what healthcare providers do. That's why I worked so hard to get my license. You think getting a PT license is easy? It's not easy. That's hard. But I'll tell you, I did it because I wanted to get out there to help the people. I've been doing it over 20 years. I actually got into PT when I was in 1985. I didn't get licensed till 96. But that's the idea of who I am. I am here to help every single person. And I'll tell you, the ideas that I have coming forward, past this, you'll see a lot of ideas coming out that you'll never hear from any other candidate.
So there you have it, guys. So if you're still here, hit that share button so that people can see it. We're wrapping up the live right now, but people need to see this and know what's going on out here, especially in the state of Florida. You know, I mean, this is where I'm from. So I want to take it upon myself to show you guys what's out here. And like I said, I met Bruce. I think he's a great guy. And you know, we'll see what happens. You know, we all got to do our part. And so with that, guys, until next time, I hope you all have a great night. And BruceNathan2018.com, Patreon.com/Patriot Media. Let's change this. What's going on? Let's change this and protect this state. Okay, and because if you're here in this state, we got to start here. And from there, we can go out and it will grow. But if we stand up and tell them, no more, just like we did with Donald Trump, we'll be able to take back our counties and ultimately our state. So, again, guys, have a great night and take it easy.